Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Western New York High School Hockey Weekly. This is the second week in a row. We are at the Blue Bull Tavern on Sweet Home Road in Amherst, New York. I am Frank Wolf from Western New York Athletics, joined by Rich Crozier, the former great coach from St. Joe. Still a great coach, but we're learning he's an even better color commentator, as Rich has been all over Western New York calling games with Joe Kraus, Stu Boyer. Who else have you called games with? Is that it for right now?
That's it for right now. I mean, Listen, so much for retirement. You guys, I did 4 games last week. I think I got 4 on tap this week. I've been at the rink just as much as I was last year, enjoying every minute of it. You're great to mention Stu and Joe. Frank, they've been awesome to me.
Yeah.
Great tag team partners, and so happy to have you here tonight. Well, last week it was like the JV team. I was by myself.
No, Rich, you did a great job. First time hosting a show. There's really nothing to it. We're just talking. This is really the only high school hockey show that in the country that spends an hour and a half each week talking about the local teams, the hockey programs in our area, and it's important that we have a guy like Rich doing that here with us.
Well, I've loved it, and thanks for having me along. How about Blue Bowl here? I mean, is this a Tuesday night or?
I know. I thought it was Friday when I first walked in. Not a seat to be had. They all came out to watch the show tonight.
Only in Buffalo. Word is out. Word is out that the high school show is live here at Blue Bowl on Sweet Home Road, and I feel like we have to kind of talk loud over the background noise. We also got a Sabres game going on. Hockey night in Buffalo tonight with our show and the game. What else could you ask for?
We're going to suffer through the Sabres game. We don't really talk much about the Sabres. That's our Buffalo Sports page. They take care of that over there. I'll tell you what, though. That response on Sunday to the Tage Thompson hit, it's making its waves through the hockey world. Sabres not showing enough emotion.
Talking about podcasts. You ever listen to Spittin' Chicklets?
Always.
Listen to the boys. Listen to the boys. Show came out, I think, just last night. Not kind to our hometown team. Calling out. And I don't like that because, as you know, and by the way, I don't want to send you to other places, but I would go to Buffalo Sabres website. Beautiful article on Dennis Gilbert. Sabres really did do a nice job for the Youth Hockey Day. I was really proud.
Yep.
There's an article if you want to read about that. So it's tough for me to say this given that one of my former players at the time was on the bench. I'll at least say that. He wasn't out on the ice. But the non-response has been a little bit of a buzz throughout the hockey world. You're right to mention it, Frank.
Yep. So, and then, the crazy thing with that, Rich, and I don't want to harp on it because we want to talk about the high school kids, but Friday night, they just got done honoring Rob Ray, probably the toughest Buffalo Sabre that gave his life and limb to that organization, defending teammates year after year. And how do they respond? This, after watching him get inducted into the Hall of Fame, they completely leave their fallen brethren on the ice to fend for themselves. Pitiful. That said today that one of the Sabres was out with a lower body injury. No kidding. You need a lower body first to have an injury. This guy, that old team, another day. But anyways, we're on to high school hockey here. We're talking high school hockey. Our advertisers, Daniel Cha-Cha Attorneys, Logistics Plus of Buffalo, Damon, Binghamton University, Quantum Conditioning and Wellness out in Cheektowaga. Visit our good friend Dan Tober out there. I know all you football guys out there that love hockey and are watching. Give Dan a call. He can help you get ready for the next year. Special guest today, besides, of course, Rich Crozier. We've got Matt Miller from Kenmore-Grand, the head coach, who assumed that role just a couple years ago. He pretty much runs the Western New York Girls Hockey Federation stats page. He's like the stats guru, the hockey analyst, whatever you want to call it. He's also the coach at Kenmore-Grand, and I believe his second year as the head coach there. He's bringing a couple of girls in. Later, we're going to hear from Ella Johnson, their starting goaltender, who's just a junior, and then Kylie Burke, a 10th grade defenseman for the Kenmore-Grand. They had a game earlier today. We'll find out how they did earlier, and report back to you when we bring him on the program. We also have from Canisius, Friendly Confines with Rich Crozier, Sam Belcito, and Rich. You guys, you're going to interview Sam Belcito.
Man, listen, I'm non-biased anymore. Frank, that's what happens when you sign with the media. I mean, all the coaches are doing it, let's just be honest. But, yeah, cannot wait. Looking forward. Sam and I are really, really good friends. We're pretty close. We exchange Christmas cards. And I'm sure he was thrilled to see me when he walked in, and I'm thrilled to see him. And we're going to highlight the biggest rivalry, in my opinion, in Western New York. Big Friday night game, St. Joe's versus Canisius, 5:30 at the Northtown Center. Should be a good one. So far, their season, they've split 1-1. So this is the rubber match, as they call it. And we'll be looking forward to talking to Sam. He's got a couple of his boys with him as they get ready to take on Joe's Friday night.
Yep, and I don't know what it is, Rich, but the minute you mention Dennis Gilbert and we talk about the Sabres not showing a lot of life, Denny Gilbert, first shift, opens up the game tonight with a nice fight against Oliveri of Columbus. But again, we're talking high school hockey. The girls are coming in. The girls from Kenmore are showing up after a big game. In just a little bit, we're going to start out with Sam Belcito. We're going to bring the girls in a little bit, but we're going to switch it up. Normally, we go girls, then boys. Well, this week, we're going to start with the boys and then bring the girls on. So the girls are going to get a nice little rest.
We'll switch it up. These ladies they're just coming from a game, too, so we'll give them the extra breather, a chance to get something to eat here. Again, we should thank Nikki. Nikki, my good friend Nikki, is taking care of us here at Blue Bull. If you want to come watch the Sabres game or be part of the show, come on down. We're here for at least the next 45 minutes.
They got drink specials. They got food specials.
We got all sorts of fun going on here. And as Frank just alluded to, my guy, look, he must have heard me. Dennis Gilbert, he responds. First shift, I'm going to tell you, that's probably not by accident. And I love what they went to the St. Joe's boy, just to send a little message to the rest of the league. We will stand up for ourselves, even if we didn't, unfortunately, on Saturday.
For sure. A couple games going on in the Fed tonight. Earlier today, Grand Island started their game against Lockport a little earlier, a 6:15 puck drop. Right now, the Vikings have a 4-0 lead, and we're waiting for an update from Brighton. Ken East taking on Will South. That puck drop is slated for 7:30 tonight. You've seen both teams this year. You just saw Kenmore East on Sunday.
Yeah, loved Ken East.
Was that your first time with?
That was our first time seeing Ken East. We saw Will South earlier in the year. We're going to see them on Saturday. That's the second of our doubleheader. It's Williamsville Day, Saturday. We got North and Clarence, the rematch. We'll talk a little bit about that game we just saw. But we'll also have Will East versus Will South. But Kenmore looked really good. If you want to jump to that game, I'm happy to do it.
Let's do that.
Great game.
Okay.
Really, we feel came out, Frank, all over. We met with interview. Go to westernnewyorkathletics.com for the interview. It's also on our Twitter page, or X, I guess we call it now, huh, Frank?
I'm way behind the times.
And we met with Coach Prey, and he mentioned the same thing. Wasn't the start he was looking for, but loved the response. Kenmore East takes that game 5-3. Share a little bit of the highlights. Ethan Lang,
baseball player.
Great game, 2 goals, including the 5th one. Jacob Simpson, a goal and assist. And Nolan Vitko.
Wow.
This was an interesting situation to start the second. Looked like Coach Prey was matching lines, but he was the visiting team. He tries to pull his defenseman off. The refs had nothing to do it. Leaves Vitko out on the ice. What does he do? He picks up the puck off the opening faceoff, Frank. Walks the D. Buries his first Federation goal. Shout out to Nolan Vitko. We also interviewed him after the game. Eric Freeman was solid in net for Kenmore East, 29 saves.
And he's going to play collegiately. I can't remember the school, but I know he's signed on to play hockey next year at the next level up. Nolan's a defenseman.
Yes, defenseman, stepped right in, right off the faceoff. Again, Coach Prey was trying to get him off the ice. They actually got to the bench. Ref said, absolutely not. You don't have that change. Get back. 12 seconds into the second. It really was an even game, in my opinion, Frank. But the difference is, Kenmore East, opportunistic. every chance they had, they really buried. And did a great job.
It looks like they kept Dunn in check. 1 goal for Dunn, who's one of the top scorers in the league, but Ken Maurice looks like they did a good job, at least neutralizing him.
Dunn is solid, 21st of the year. Every time he or Perry, if you haven't seen this kid Perry, friends, you want to out and get to see him. These guys are outstanding players. Kolesny had a great game, a goal and his assist. That's his 7th goal, 18th of the season, 25 points. Nolan Haley picks up the loss, 24 saves. It was a great game. And after, if you watch that interview, one of the things that I appreciated talking with Coach Prey is he also mentioned about what an amazing tournament we have. We're just weeks away, friends, from the Division II playoffs here in the Fed. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the winner of Section 6 in Division II will be favored to win the New York State Championship. It's going to be an incredible tournament. 16 teams. Coach Prey confirmed with me 8 of the 16 have a chance to take it and then go on to represent Section 6 in the regionals and state championships. I can't wait, and I'm so excited to be part of the Western New York Athletics crew.
And I'll tell you this, Rich, and you know this as well as anybody. Once the playoffs start here, throw those records in the garbage.
Yes.
Throw them in the garbage. We've seen the top seed from Section 6 in large schools, Division I, be upset by the team that finished in last place. We've seen it happen. All it takes is a goaltender to have the game of his life, to step up, to really step up and have a great game in order to do that. So I wouldn't count anyone out at any level, and absolutely with D2, you're talking Will North's down there now?
Well, Will North was forced to play in Division II, Clarence Division II. Of course, divisions are all based on your beds numbers. That's enrollment in high schools, if you're not familiar with the term beds. So when you're talking about a Will North, state champions, legendary coaches, and a Clarence playing in a Division II playoff for the first time against a Canisius and a Kyle Prey, you really have to believe it's going to be exciting not to at any point, think that Will East and Mike Torillo, I mean, the list goes on and on. It will be incredibly exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, Western New York Athletics will be there to bring you all the action. Again, as Frank mentioned, we are so fortunate. It is really one of a kind across the country, covering all of these playoff games. I'm thrilled to do it and can't wait. As they say, we could start the playoffs tonight.
You could. I'm ready for it. I want to give a shout out to Owen McKinney, former Kenmore-East Bulldog, now working at the Brighton Arena. Now, do you think he's doing anything funny to help Ken East in that new barn? Maybe getting him a little extra water in that locker room?
I don't know.
Maybe making sure the showers are a little hotter, a little warmer shower.
Listen, you're bringing up some interesting information here, because really for me, when it starts at the new Brighton Arena, it starts with Tyler Crawford. Okay?
Tyler does a great job.
You asked Tyler who his favorite coach is. And, you want to talk about legends in the town of Tonawanda rec department. You're talking about Gary Crawford, okay? Not to beat my boy Shannon Greco over there, okay? Meet me on hole number 1 at Sheridan. Shannon does an awesome job. So those are all great people in a great rec department. Love the new rink. We just got to get the internet fixed.
Love it. Got to get the Ethernet fixed in there. We need Ethernet in there.
And we'll be doing games nonstop.
Oh, you'll have to. Can we get a room there? I mean, can we sleep over? Because we would. We'd stay. We do 24 hours. We should do that one year. 24-hour hockey coverage from Brighton, like one of those telethons.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could survive 24 straight hours, but I'll try.
I like that.
Let's think about that.
We just commentate on whatever goes out there.
Who's ever out, even if it's a practice or bar league.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
You want me to?
What other games did you have before we had a commercial?
The big teddy bear toss game. Shout out to both teams, William North and Clarence. William North takes this 4-1. This was last Thursday. Rematch, by the way, this Saturday. Again, Western New York Athletics will be there. Looking forward to that. Max Thompson, 2 goals. Brian Pickering, 1 goal, 2 assists. My boy, Caleb Opulowicz with assists. PJ Diodati, 27 saves. Jeremy DeRigo got a goal. And Carson Oates, he's been spectacular. We had him on the show last week. Shout out to my man Carson, 41 saves. But the big winner, Frank, has to be West New York Crisis Services. $5,500 raised for the teddy bear toss. North's been doing it for 8-9 years. Shout out to their
You guys used
program.
to do that
It
with
was
North.
awesome.
That was a Joe's North staple.
You know, we love doing anything to raise money. I can't recall us being a part of the teddy bear toss.
I remember.
But we certainly have raised a lot of money over the years in our St. Joe's 7 Days of Giving campaign. Over $10,000. But the big winners Thursday night were Western New York Crisis Services. Looking forward to the rematch on Saturday. I know Clarence was disappointed.
Well,
And then really the game of the year.
Yeah, you saw that one.
The
Saturday.
game of the year, at least Joe Kraus and I were texting after. That's Lancaster 4, Willie's 3 in overtime. East had a 3-1 lead. Go and rewatch that one. It's worth it. Daniel Snyder, not only the game-tying goal, the game-winning goal, picked up an assist as well. Just a great game. And really, the big news of that game for me was no Stanfield, no Hoffman on the score sheet for East.
Wow.
They've been spectacular. Just 2 really great players. And the fact that Lancaster kept them off the score sheet, Frank, is really kind of a side note of the game. It was solid.
Did they focus on those 2 guys? Was that all coaching there?
It was interesting. I've been in that situation before. I was watching Coach Trillo, felt for him a little bit. It's so hard to get up for all 20 games. I've seen East enough this year, so I feel confident in sharing this, and I'm sure that Coach Trillo would agree with me. He just didn't have the oomph from his players. He tried to get it, and it was, East was doing their thing. They got some goals early, but it was one of those things where, in my opinion, it was only a matter of time where Lancaster, shout out to Coach Bach too, got down 3-1. He used his timeout. You don't usually see coaches make a timeout mid-game, especially at the high school level. Motivated his players. Next thing you know, they get a power play, score on the power play, make it 3-2, tie it up late in the third, and then the overtime winner, a tic-tac-toe goal into the net, Joe. Again, if you get a chance, watch it back. It's on our website. Great game. Right now, it's the Joe Kraus, Rich Crozier game of the year. Lancaster 4, Willie's 3 in overtime.
Now this Thursday, is that the rematch that you were talking about?
No, this Thursday.
What do you got on this Thursday?
Yes, you are correct. I'm sorry, OP. No, it's not the rematch. We got OP Will North.
Okay.
The rematch is on Saturdays,
That's
Clarence and North. Should be a great game. OP, only 1 loss all season here in Section 6. We were at that game.
Yeah.
And Clarence got him. That was the night Carson Oates was just spectacular. And Coach Daniker was fit to be tied. Smoke coming out of his ears. OP got up 3-0. Clarence came back, wins 5-3.
Yep.
Really,
To me, that was the game of the year.
it was a great game. Great game. Really like the way North's been playing. Defensively against Clarence, they looked incredibly strong. This game is at 6 o'clock, Frank, on Thursday night. Should be a great one at North Towns. I believe that's Joe Kraus and I.
Yep.
Sometimes I get mixed up if it's Stu or Joe, but I think it's Joe Kraus and I, 6 p.m. at North Towns. Either come to the game or watch us. It's going to be a great one.
Absolutely. Thursday's matchups on NFHS. I'll check with Timmy, our producer. Timmy, Fridays on WNY?
Joe's
WNY,
Canisius.
Yeah, Joe's Canisius. You can find that on WNYA Plus, as well as Saturday's game WNYA Plus.
That game's going to be at 5:30 on Friday, and then Saturday, the 1 o'clock Will North Clarence game. We'll stick with the Williamsville theme. Will East, Stanfield, and Hoffman as advertised versus Will South. Should be a great one. All three, by the way, original Federation coaches, Rosen, Torillo, Green, on Saturday afternoon.
Crazy.
If you know anything about high school hockey, you want to tune into that. Should be a great one. We're excited to bring it to you.
I'm looking forward to it. And last week, you may or may not have seen it. If you haven't, check it out. Tony Fiorello did a nice write-up on Sweet Home, Depew, North Tonawanda, what's going on with those three programs as they're coming together for the second year, and they're trying to find their ways. And it sounds like they're starting to do just that. So give a shout out, or check out the website, WNYathletics.com, and you'll see that story on the upstart Sweet Home, Depew, North Tonawanda contingent, year 2 for them. A lot of coaches on that bench.
Oh,
a lot of coaches on that bench. A lot of wealth of knowledge there for high school hockey for sure. Sabres leading 1-0. We're going to end this segment 1 on that. We're going to come back with Coach Belcito from Canisius, and then a couple of his players.
Coach Belcito, a couple of captains coming up next here on the show. We'll keep you updated on the Sabres, but stay right here.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
Education has power. Binghamton University students discover it, apply it, unleash it. Unleash your education today.
Just results.
Your life can change in an instant after an injury. You need a trusted partner at your side. Hi, I'm Dan Chacha. At Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys, we're here to help you navigate the challenges you'll face. Our dedicated team fights tirelessly for your rights, ensuring you get the compensation you deserve. Don't worry, Chacha's got you. Call Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your injury is our priority.
Call 648-3030. Just results.
Western New York Immediate Care. Since 2005, our hometown urgent care walk-in clinics have been committed to providing the highest quality urgent care for the Western New York community, with 4 convenient locations in Amherst, Buffalo, Depew, and Orchard Park. We are open every day, including holidays. Walk-ins welcome or reserve a time. We have on-site labs and x-rays, and you'll always see an in-person provider. Visit WNYimmediatecare.com.
We're back on WesternNewYorkAthletics.com and our weekly Tuesday night hockey show live from Blue Bull Tavern here in Amherst. Proud to welcome the head coach in his 10th year of the Canisius Crusaders, Sam Belcito. Thanks for joining us tonight, Sam.
Thank you, Coach.
Wow. Who would have predicted this one?
Right?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So we'll talk a little bit about Friday. We're certainly looking forward to doing the game. But tell us a little bit about what's going on with Canisius hockey. You guys are having a great year.
Yeah, this actually kind of started last year. You know, our leadership last year, our captains last year did a great job setting, you know, we had a great season last year and it kind of carried over to this year. We did the summer league out at Harbor Center for the first time this year, and the kids won that. So it kind of snowballed into the season with a lot of momentum. Kids very excited. They've been working hard. They worked hard all summer. We skated all summer as we always do. They've been in the gym lifting, and then we just got off to a very good start this year.
Yeah, I've seen you guys a couple times. I got to be honest, what I'm so impressed with is the way you guys can shoot the puck. You know, out of nowhere at any point a couple times, just in my opinion, just walking in and their abilities to really turn a hockey game around that, out of nowhere, so quick. Is that something you guys have been working on? I mean, you got a mature team, a strong team, a veteran team.
Yes,
I feel like you can shoot the puck and score from pretty much anywhere in the zone.
Yeah, we're always stressing, get the puck on net, and we definitely have some shooters on there. Our captain, Jack Dagley, if you watched him play, his release is just wicked, And we picked up David Barzak this year from the junior Sabres, and he is, great at feeding the guys all over the ice. We have quite a few guys that are very capable of shooting the puck.
Both of those guys have been incredibly impressive. How about on the goaltending end? I mean, one of the guys I know that you have on the bench, he's just a great guy and certainly knows a lot about goaltending. Is Coach McMullen, and how's it been? How's your goaltending this year, and who you've been leaning on?
So our goaltending, this is the first year actually that I've taken 3 goalies.
Yeah.
I have 2 seniors and a junior. Coach McMullen has been with us for the last 2 years. He works with the goalies. He's doing a great job. We kind of at the beginning of the year started with like a 3-man rotation, and at this point now I think we're leaning towards Alex to lead us lead us into the playoffs. He's been with the program for 4 years. Liam Feeney had stepped aside for a year and came back this year, and he's played great when he's been in net. And then we have Jack Grillo Jr., who's just been lights out when he's been in games too. So he's an Amherst kid as well. I
know Jack Grillo and his family, great family. Toledo's has been great for you guys, and I always feel like that's been a strength for you as well. Well, we're going to bring in your captains in a couple seconds. Let's brag on them a little bit. You got Shaq and Tyler here tonight. Talk to me a little bit about your leadership.
Jack's a second-year player. He's our captain this year. Tyler, this would be his 3rd year. He's an assistant. They have both done a tremendous job this year, keeping the guys focused on the ice, off the ice, in school, in the classroom. I really don't have any complaints at all. They get there, they practice, they're getting the guys out on the ice. We're getting right to it. Practices have been very crisp this year, a lot of fun. It's fun to be out there, it's fun to be around everybody, and they kind of set that tone from right off the bat.
And leadership, as we know, is so important. Friday night, it's the rubber match. We were at the first game out at Brighton. We had that game. You guys took care of business the next night at Harbor Center. Let's just talk a little bit about the rivalry. Those at home are probably seeing me smile as I say it. I think it's the best in Western New York, and I'm expecting there to be a huge crowd on Friday night. Talk to me a little bit about your thoughts, and maybe I'll throw a word in about what I've experienced over my years coaching against you and what it means to coach in that game.
Yeah, the kids already, they've been talking about it all week at school. They've got their whiteout planned and all that type of stuff. But, like you said, it is one of the greatest rivalries in Western New York here. Those games are always close. They're always competitive. Even if one team is down talent-wise that year, they're always going to play their best game when those 2 teams take the ice. And I wouldn't expect anything less on Friday night from St. Joe's.
It's so funny because people would always come up to me, and we've traded off years, right? Yep. There's always a year where your guys were a little bit older, you'd come into the game and Canisius would be playing better than Joe's, or vice versa. There were years where I thought I had a little bit of a better team than you, and I would always say to people, when it's Joe's Canisius, throw the records out the window.
Doesn't matter.
And you always, I mean, you and I have never had a chance to ever even talk like this, so I appreciate it. But you always see things in these rivalry games, and you're like, again, you're working with teenage boys, okay, that have a ton of emotions.
Yeah.
And as you know, teenage boys, when they have their teenage boys in the stands, act a certain way.
Yep.
And so you see things that you're just like, what is going on, and you can talk about strategy and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, at times, you know, and I can say this now that I'm retired, it's a little bit of a coin flip. It's a little bit of like, hey, how's it going to go? And well, we're certainly looking forward to the game on Friday. Should be a great game, really leading into the playoffs. Talk to me a little bit about the Monsignor Martin League. It looks like similar to the rest of the Fed this year. There's a little bit of parity. I would say definitely you guys look to be a favorite.
Yeah, I think that's more so just, you know, we're a bit older than the other teams right now, so we're a little more confident, we're a little more experienced and weathered, so we're good with that. But Joe's has got a very good squad. You know, we've played them twice this year.
Yeah.
And Timon, for being as young as they are, they just go at you. They just grind.
They seem to be a little bit of a surprise.
Yep.
You know, he's telling me he's got, you know, a dozen freshmen, and then you get out there and
they don't back down.
You know how they are.
Yeah.
The scrappy South Buffalo. Oh,
yep.
Man.
They come at you.
They come at you on the ice, and then you want to get to your car quickly after the game. Okay, Coach, thanks for joining us. We know you're real busy. Not only running this program for Canisius, as we mentioned, your son Frankie Belcito, you're the Regals head coach for him.
Yep.
I remember those days. Enjoy them. It goes quick. Before you know it, Frankie will be on the bench with you at Canisius.
Hopefully.
Oh man, there's no
Can't
better.
wait.
There's no better feeling. And so I hope you enjoy every minute of it. Looking forward. We got Jack and Tyler coming up in a couple minutes. Thanks again, Coach. Good luck on Friday night.
Thank you. See you there.
We'll be looking maybe for a tie. You're watching the weekly hockey show here on Western New York Athletics. We'll be back in a few minutes live from Blue Bowl.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
Education has power. Binghamton University students discover it, apply it, unleash it. Unleash your education today.
Just results.
Your life can change in an instant after an injury. You need a trusted partner at your side. Hi, I'm Dan Chacha. At Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys, we're here to help you navigate the challenges you'll face. Our dedicated team fights tirelessly for your rights, ensuring you get the compensation you deserve. Don't worry, Chacha's got you. Call Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your injury is our priority.
Call 648-3030. Just results.
Western New York Immediate Care. Since 2005, our hometown urgent care walk-in clinics have been committed to providing the highest quality urgent care for the Western New York community, with 4 convenient locations in Amherst, Buffalo, Depew, and Orchard Park. We are open every day, including holidays. Walk-ins welcome or reserve a time. We have on-site labs and x-rays, and you'll always see an in-person provider. Visit WNYimmediatecare.com.
Well, welcome back, Western New York Athletics, the weekly hockey show every Tuesday. If it's Tuesday night, we're live, and tonight we're here from Blue Bowl Tavern in Sweet Home, and I'm joined by the leadership, the captains, here for the Canisius Crusaders. Big game Friday night, 5:30, North Downs against St. Joe's. Welcome, Tyler Stouffer and Jack Dagler. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
How about this? How about this, huh?
I know.
Former St. Joe's coach.
I know, big week too.
Interviewing. Listen. I'm excited. I'm excited you guys are here. And Coach was just talking about how pleased he is with the team. Really, if you look at the roster in age, you're one of the oldest teams in the Fed. So you got the most maturity, and it certainly seems like you guys have been playing that way.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel the season's been going? Tyler, I'll start with you.
I mean, obviously, great start to the season. Obviously, undefeated through league play until that St. Joe's game, obviously. But I would say that game is important, though. I would say that changed our team for sure. Honestly, it was a little bit of a wake-up call, but I feel like it just got the guys super focused, and ever since then, practices, games, everything, everybody's been focused, and obviously we've got anywhere from freshmen to seniors on the team, so yeah, it's a great group of guys this year.
Yeah, I think you guys opened up against McQuaid. Actually, I was there for that game, the day after Thanksgiving. And then even like seeing you against that, we were at the game in Brighton. Do know the next day you guys took care of things at the Harbor Center, but Jack, I'll throw this out to you. What I was so impressed with is just your ability as a team to score from anywhere in the zone. At times it's like, okay, the game is even, and the next thing you know, it's in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, we're really good at bearing like anywhere, like you said, and I remember in that game, Chimay, he started off with the goal, just first shift, I think it was, from like the left side of the net. It was just gritty, and we're gonna score anywhere we can, so it's working for us.
Coach mentioned really he's been thrilled with you guys, especially since that kind of misstep, if you will, unexpected probably for you guys. Practices have been great. What have things been like leading up to Friday? I mean, certainly probably a lot of talk going on in school.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously St. Joe's game on a Friday, a lot of people going to be there. And I mean, I would say last week with our McQuaid game, that win, that was a great start.
Big win.
Yeah, huge win. Yep. I mean, obviously it went to OT. We don't prefer that, but we got it done in the end, so that's all that matters.
Took care of business against McQuaid, and so for you, Tyler, a goal, 4 assists, 5 points this year. What would you say is the highlight of your game? What do you bring to the team besides the leadership that Coach was bragging about a few minutes ago?
Yeah, so I would just say this year, obviously transitioning to a senior, third-year player, I would say a lot of it is just role. We have a lot of role players on our team. Obviously, everybody knows their job, and with the depth that we have on the team. But I mean, I would just say that with the guys that we have up front, I've just been completely focused on just the defensive side of things and just stepping up for the team and doing what I can. So.
How about you, Jack? 6 and 4, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. At least with the stats we have. I mean, you guys might have a few more. Coach Belcito's sometimes a little slow to put that into the website.
Yeah,
but
he might have a little bit more, but I think I might be good at it.
You're right on with 1, 4, and 5. Listen, everybody's got a role. Listen, and the more you're willing to accept your role and cherish it, the better off you are. How's your senior season going, Jack?
It's awesome. I mean, fun squad is different from last year, obviously, because there's no one really to look up to anymore. It's just us, and everyone's looking up to us. But I mean, we've been rolling, as Tyler said, and we're looking to keep it going this Friday. So
this is kind of really like the first, I wouldn't say first, but a big challenge before the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're obviously a different squad. We graduated 15 guys last year, but they, got a few bounces, I would say, that night as well. What was the difference the next night, and what are you guys looking to accomplish on Friday? Again, should be a capacity crowd, and for those that can't make it, we hope they tune in to West New York Athletics. What are they going to see, either live in person or on the broadcast?
I mean, I will say one thing. Just from like your team last year, it is pretty similar to now, just being that senior heavy. I do remember that with your team and obviously the success you had. So just leading into playoffs, I mean, everybody's just got to be focused and don't get ahead of yourself. I mean, as we know, regular season, everybody does get in. So I mean, we've seen it happen before, surprises, and just got to make sure the guys just forget about the regular season and we got to focus on this Friday and playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that Friday for me, if I'm a Canisius guy, it's really just it's building on that confidence going in. As you said, the mishap at Brighton was really kind of maybe more of a wake up call. Just that every game you got to bring it.
Yeah.
Friday will be kind of just a stepping stone for you guys as you go into the playoffs.
I mean, I would see. I mean, obviously, technically, it is just a regular season game, but I mean, we go into every game.
Yes.
Every game's like a playoff game, so there's no change of game plan at all going into Friday. We're gonna bring it.
Jack, what's your thoughts on Friday? Coach and I were talking, and I know you guys have played in this game before. The records kind of, I would say definitely you guys are favored. The records, though, sometimes go out the window when you're talking about a Joe's Canisius game.
Yeah.
What's your experience in that? Always, like in my opinion, like unusual stuff happens. Crowd gets into it. You got some players playing up to their boys in the stands. All those things that can drive coaches crazy when you just hoping that you can stick to a game plan.
Yeah. Well, I just thought we were favored, and like the first game going into it, we thought it was going to be a walk in the park. We weren't physical, weren't working too hard, and it backfired on us. And then the second game, we were all dialed in, ready to go. We were physical, outworked them, and it showed in the final score. So we're going to go into that game and win it.
Let's talk about just the rest of the league for a second. You've seen everyone, I'm assuming, at least once.
Marys.
Haven't played Marys. We don't need to talk about Marys. Anyone besides Joe's, right? And certainly we know that rivalry game. And oh, by the way, for those that don't know, I'm obviously very familiar. It has been a while since we've played you guys in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Though that was always something for me. I'll be honest, I feel comfortable saying this. I like to avoid for the reasons I just said. Records go out the window, and it's just a really tough game to coach in, given the amount of motion that's in the building anytime a Joe's Canisius team plays. Joe's aside, how do you guys feel you match up against a Timon or a St. Francis?
I mean, I would say that we match up very well. Obviously, I do think that we're going to come out on top, but I mean, just like every game, we prepare the same way. We go into every game the same and just stay focused, whether it's in warm-ups, in the locker room, it all starts there. So
We'll give one more shout out here. Goaltending. I saw Jack and I saw Alex. I know you guys are carrying 3 this year. It seems like you got almost like a great problem to have, right? They're all really solid. We know that goaltending can be such a difference, whether it's going to be on Friday night or in the playoffs. How's that friendly competition gone, and what are you guys thinking about those guys leading you maybe to a championship this year?
Well, I mean, all 3 of them are so good, and we're so lucky to have them because, I mean, that's like the backbone of your team right there, and they've been playing amazing, and we all love them, they love each other, and it's been great in the locker room with them and on the ice. So
great camaraderie. Shout out to Coach McMullen too. We talk about goaltending. He's certainly playing at the level that he did. He certainly knows a lot about it. You guys seem to have like a fun culture too. I mean, definitely looks like you guys like to have a good time. And it sounds like a pretty solid squad this year.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you guys the best of luck not only on Friday but through the playoffs. And we appreciate you joining us. It's a busy time of year on a Tuesday night. Tyler Stouffer, Jack Dagler, Canisius Crusaders.
Yep.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Well, in a second we'll be back with Kenmore girls coach and a couple ladies that he's brought by. You're watching the Western New York Athletic Show on Tuesday night here live from Blue Bowl. We'll be back with you in a moment.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
Education has power. Binghamton University students discover it, apply it, unleash it. Unleash your education today.
Just results.
Your life can change in an instant after an injury. You need a trusted partner at your side. Hi, I'm Dan Chacha. At Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys, we're here to help you navigate the challenges you'll face. Our dedicated team fights tirelessly for your rights, ensuring you get the compensation you deserve. Don't worry, Chacha's got you. Call Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your injury is our priority.
Call 648-3030. Just results.
Western New York Immediate Care. Since 2005, our hometown urgent care walk-in clinics have been committed to providing the highest quality urgent care for the Western New York community, with 4 convenient locations in Amherst, Buffalo, Depew, and Orchard Park. We are open every day, including holidays. Walk-ins welcome or reserve a time. We have on-site labs and x-rays, and you'll always see an in-person provider. Visit WNYimmediatecare.com.
Hey, we're back. Western New York Athletics. It's Tuesday night. It's the Tuesday Night Hockey Show. Joined here by the first division champions.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
Coach.
sir.
Your 6-1 win.
Yeah.
Over.
So we played Niagara County earlier today, and big win, 6-1, and it was enough to clinch first place. So the girls played well all season. It was nice to get rewarded. So we got the trophy here to celebrate a little bit, but we still got one more regular season game before the playoffs start next week.
Well, nice to clinch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. Let's talk a little bit about your team this year. You guys have been playing great. A lot of league leaders, too. Tell us about how you feel things have been going.
Yeah, I think, we had a lot of... We're an older team, I think, for the most part. We've got 7 seniors this year, which is big for the girls in the girls' league. So just a lot of veteran leadership, and they really do a good job of kind of setting the stage for the rest of the team. And we just have, as a group, followed their lead and just been really competitive, done a lot of little things right, grown each year, or each game this year. And we've had some close games. We lost a couple throughout the year. It's hard to go undefeated, obviously, but they've just, especially led by our senior leadership, but we've got a bunch of younger players that have stepped up, and I don't know, it's just a great locker room. The girls play for each other, and they're just very selfless and doing everything for the team first. And we have a couple girls who are up there in the career all-time scoring leaders with Izzy Bourgel and Bella Jamie, and they're not looking to pad their stats or anything. They're actually kind of down in the stats compared to previous years because they're just, it's team first. They're blocking shots, they're closing out. So led by those senior leadership, we've had a great team, and it's been a good run so far. So we hope to get a few more accolades as the year goes on.
So critically important that they're being unselfish and trying to get more girls going. You and I both know as coaches, it's so critically important to kind of have a few people going and not just relying on 1 or 2 sticks throughout the year.
Yeah, people can go cold every once in a while, so you need that depth scoring, and they've been spreading the wealth a little bit, and we've gotten some secondary scoring, especially from we've got an 8th grader who has one of the best shots I've ever seen, and Erin Kraus, and she stepped up big, but we've got a lot of players chipping in and a lot of players stepping up, so it's been a good year for us so
far. This is your 2nd year with the program, is that correct?
Second year as head coach.
Yes.
I've been with the program since the beginning.
I remember. You and I kind of go way back. I mean, we would see each other. We were like 2 ships crossing in the night, right? St. Joe's, we'd come off the ice, and you guys would be heading on. We're talking just a little bit earlier. Shout out to the new facility. What's your thoughts? We should give a little shout out.
Yeah, I mean,
have you guys gotten out there a ton, or?
Yeah, we so our practices there at new Brighton we call it, but it's Paddock Ice Arena, and it's just a beautiful rink compared to, I never wanted to talk back because I also worked there forever. Put a lot of time in that Brighton Arena, but it was not the nicest rink we've ever seen. It was small. It was, cold. It was the big one, but this rink is beautiful. We did it some justice this year. Every home game we played at the rink, we won this year. So undefeated at home at new ice rink, and it's just beautiful. It's like I can coach during practice just wearing a sweatshirt. I don't have to bundle up. It's beautiful. Everyone who's come in
It was
given us compliments.
so tough. In, I guess we'll call it Old Brighton. I like that. I would wear gloves under my gloves.
Yeah, it's hard to stick in because you can't feel the puck.
I wouldn't take my gloves off though because I didn't want my players to think I was soft. But it would get brutally cold in there.
Oh yeah. Well, going back to I played Kenmore West there, graduated in 2004, and we would have before school practices.
Yeah.
And when the heaters haven't been on for 12 hours, it is frigid. So we'd have extra socks around our neck pulled over the top of our cage. It was brutal. It was a tough rink to play in. But I mean, those are team bonding moments. When I played, I know the girls, they didn't love the cold. We only had a couple years where we had to go before school, and it brings teams together. So those moments are kind of fun sometimes, even though they're not enjoyable in the moment. It helps gel the team and bring the locker room together.
Which is one of the jobs that I think is unique. For some of the girls programs, you have ladies on a few different high schools. Talk to me about how you build that community in the locker room, and even if they're not, coming from the same school or going to the same school the next morning, how have you managed to bring them together to have such a successful season?
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think it goes back to some of the traditions and cultures that have been built over the years. And it's definitely unique with the girls. Our team is Kenmore East, Kenmore West, Grand Island, and Lockport joined us. I think this is the third season with Lockport. So, it's tough. They don't go to school together. They don't hang out together all the time. But, really that first year when we formed 15 years ago, we were just Kenmore, but we were Kenmore East, Kenmore West, Hoover Middle, Franklin Middle. So they're still coming from 4 different schools.
Sure.
So it was a lot of team bonding stuff. And we had some senior captains and some juniors and seniors at the time who really made sure to bring in the younger girls and make sure everybody felt involved. And some of those girls that were 7th and 8th grade in those first couple of years, they grew up to be captains, and when they took over, they took those lessons, brought those girls in. That stuck with us, and 15 years later, I mean, we've won, we've won, I think, 8 section titles. We've played in 2 more. We've done a phenomenal job, and it's really the culture of our locker room that's done a good job there. And, it helps to have some talented players and some solid goaltending and everything, but the culture is what sets us apart from some of the other teams, I think.
You mentioned her before. Is it Izzy? Izzy Bourgeau? Is that how?
Izzy Bourgeau.
Yeah, so I know her family pretty well. Good family.
Oh, they're great family.
Dad's a Canadian.
Oh yeah, he's always when in the stressful games in the playoffs, he breaks out a lot of French, and he's throwing around some French on the bench. Nobody knows what he's saying, but
Izzy's Aunt Jen works for me at Smallwood. She's exceptional social worker. Jen, shout out to Jen Noe, and I actually think they live next door to each other, which is also helpful when you have a family affair like that. But I've been hearing about Izzy for a long time. Talk to me about her a little bit.
I mean, it definitely starts with just being a great person, and that comes from the parents both. Mark is, this is actually Mark's last year helping us on the bench. He's once Izzy graduates, he's going to call it quits for us, but he's been with us for 6 years. But Izzy, I mean, she's, like when I was talking about the older players being selfless, that is absolutely Izzy. She will do anything for anybody and is there to help people out. And it also goes back to her older sister, Carolyn, was our goalie, graduated 2 years ago. She was the same way, very motherly, would take care of everybody, make sure everybody was having a good time. But, Izzy, I figured it out because I have a 4-year-old that I brought over to the Bourgeau's house to skate in their backyard rink. And when you watch Izzy play, she's always doing that, open foot, the pivot, kind of opening the hips to face the ice. And I never understood where it came from. But after playing in their backyard rink so much, you figure out, that's what she's doing. She's just seeing the ice. And that incorporates in her game, but she sees the ice better than almost any player I've ever coached because she's always looking, she's always making a little subtle move, and I'm laying in these beautiful saucer passes. And she's just such a good setup person, but she also has a very accurate shot. I mean, last year in when we went to the regional game against Webster last year, she had a hat trick. We won 4-3 in overtime. She had 3 goals, and all of them were just absolute beautiful shots, like picking corners off the inside of the post. I mean, she can do it all. She's great. I joked with her earlier in the year that I would always put 2 of her line mates out to kill penalties, and I always skip over her. And she's like, I know how to do this too, so I put her out there, and she can kill penalties. She's on the power play. She's blocking shots. She just does everything you ask, and she's just such a coach's dream. So that's why she's one of our captains, one of our leaders.
Her mom is an elementary teacher at Windermere, which is kind of our sister school at Smallwood. Just a wonderful person as well. So
the whole
sounds
family.
like apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, and from what I know, their little brother Ben, he's pretty good too. So we'll give him some shout outs. But the whole family is just wonderful people.
Who did you bring with you tonight?
So tonight we've got Ella Johnson is our starting goalie this year. She's a junior, and just kind of the depth chart 2 years ago when she first came to us as a freshman, we had 2 seniors and her junior ahead of her, so she didn't get much ice time. Then last year she was going to serve kind of as like a 1B sort of backup supporting our goalie last year, Sam Horn, but Ella ended up getting injured last year and missed most of the season. So this is the first year she's really, been carrying the weight for us, and she's just done a phenomenal job. I mean, even tonight, it was a 6-1 game, but she had to stop 3 breakaways against one of the top scorers in the league.
Yeah.
And just, she's bailed us out a bunch of times in big games and played huge. So we're lucky to have her. She's been awesome this year. And then
Kylie Burke.
Yeah, we've also got Kylie Burke. Kylie's funny. With girls, I always talk about, sometimes we get these 7th grade players playing varsity. So we'll know them for a third of their life by the time they graduate, from the time they're just turning 13 until they're 18. But we've actually known Kylie since she was like 2, because she had an older sibling that played on the team, and she used to carry around this little stuffed animal giraffe around the rink, and now she's on the team. She's been on the team for at least 3 years. This might be her 4th year, and she is just an ultimate team player too. I mean, I keep saying this, but that's what makes our team so great, is everybody plays for each other. And we call her Berkey. She does so many little things right. Her dad has coached, he used to be the Buff State women's coach. He's currently coaching Paul Smith College in the Adirondacks. And he's such a smart hockey mind, and Kylie's picked up a lot of that. She does so many things well. Just another great person. So we're just lucky to, pick up anybody off our roster. They're just an awesome kid. So 2 good kids that are here with us tonight.
Sounds like you got a great team. Playoffs are right around the corner. You're coming in as a favorite.
Yeah.
What's that feel like, and what's your plan to take care of business?
So luckily we get a night off because we got first place. We get there's an odd number of teams in our section, so we get bye week in the first bye in the first round. So playoffs start Tuesday, but our first game won't be until Thursday, so we can kind of scout and game plan and see what's going on there. But we're 3-time defending sectional champions in a row, so I feel like people rise and give us their best game every single time. So we've been used to this pressure all year long. People are, we've got a target on our back. They're trying to take us down. So this is nothing different. It's, just every game is big. So we've faced this pressure all year long. I think I like our chances, but there's some good teams out there. We lost a game to Hughes. We tied one. We were actually down in both games we played against Flop. Lita's right with us. So there's a lot of really good teams. These are all acronyms for the people who don't know, but it should be a good playoff run, but I do like our chances. I still think we're the favorites.
I think you are as well. We just saw a great game. We saw Cash in Williamsville, and just the girls' game overall. Just so love, and you guys talking about love. You got some love on Sunday with the Youth Hockey Day and the announcers and.
Yeah, I actually just heard about that. One of my defensemen, Natalie Koff, her dad was telling me on the way out of our game today. I had no idea. I know some of the other jerseys got picked, and I didn't watch it. I was busy that day. But
Brian Duff, Marty Baran, they were sporting the ladies' jerseys.
Yeah, I know. I saw a picture of Marty wearing the Williamsville jersey, but I actually didn't know that Duffer had the Kenji jersey on Kenji Park. So that's pretty cool.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great season. I know you got more to come, not done yet.
Yeah, not done yet.
Appreciate you giving up some time here at a game earlier today.
Absolutely.
Congrats on the 6-1 win. Congrats on the regular season championship. Western New York Athletics will be there, so I'm hoping I'll be shaking your hand in the future and congratulating you on another title. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
There we are. We're live here at Blue Bowl and the Western New York Athletics Hockey Weekly Show. We'll be back in a few minutes with a couple ladies from the Kenmore-Grand Island-Lockport. I got it, right?
You got them all, yeah.
I got them all. We'll see you in 30 seconds. Okay.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
Education has power. Binghamton University students discover it, apply it, unleash it. Unleash your education today.
We're back here live at Blue Bowl for the weekly hockey show. If it's Tuesday night, we've got our show going. I want to thank Blue Bowl. Capacity crowd here. I think it's a Friday night. It's not, ladies. It's Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just going to keep saying the same thing. Congratulations. First, we'll talk about 6-1 win tonight. Took care of business, right, against Niagara County. That win claims the regular season championship for you. Congratulations, and the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. How exciting! Let's make sure everybody knows who we're talking to. Ella Johnston,
Yeah.
got it. Don't forget that T, coach. And Kylie Burke. I tell you, your coach was bragging about you ladies just a few minutes ago. Let's start with the team. He said that one of the best things about this year's team is how tight-knit of a group you are. What do you think about that? We'll start with you, Ella. Are you guys tight as a group? How's your community in the locker room?
It's amazing. Everybody is so close to each other. We're like a big, happy family. Is the best way to describe it.
Kylie, it's always unique, the ladies. You guys will come to practice, and the next morning you're going to 3 different high schools. Or you might even have some ladies that are in middle school, I'm assuming, right?
There are a few from our school that are in middle school.
Right, so you got multiple schools that they're going to. How do you make sure that everyone's, as tight-knit as Ella's suggesting here?
I think what helps a lot with being so tight-knit is having a good group of captains. Like, our captains are very supportive, and with the 8th graders that just joined the team, they've been very welcoming. And when I was in 8th grade and it was my first year on the team, they were, again, very welcoming, and they made sure that everyone was really comfortable, and they basically explained some of the processes that go on, and they lead our warm-ups with a lot of enthusiasm. The music is great, and everyone's just kind of vibing in the locker room. Yeah.
Sounds like an awesome team to be a part of. So much, I keep feeling in the last couple years, well, probably in your tenure, so much about women's sports and the fact that women can do anything. I have 2 high school daughters at home, so I feel really strongly about this as a dad. What do you think about really the excitement around women's sports and women's hockey? It's just such a cool thing.
I love the attention that it's getting that it deserves, because everyone sees, a lot of people see girls hockey as a downgrade to men's hockey, which is just not true. There's so much technique and thought that goes into women's hockey and women's sports in general. It's not just about being the biggest or the strongest. You have to have IQ, you have to be smart to play.
Couldn't agree more. I did my first broadcast of a women's game. It was Cash over Williamsville, 3-2, and I've been coaching high school hockey for 20 years. I have to tell you, the game was incredible, very exciting. Cash won 3-2, and Yeah, I'm confused why anyone would say downgrade. In fact, the energy, and I can say this as a boys coach for so long, the energy that you ladies bring to the game is second to none. And certainly I would say that some of our boys team could learn a little bit from a team like yours. When did you guys start playing? I'll start with you, Kylie. When did you start playing, and who are you playing for right now if you are playing beyond just your high school team?
Like what age did I start playing?
I'm sorry?
Like what age did I start playing
Yeah.
hockey? I think I was about maybe 5 or 6. I started playing for like a mini Mites team.
Yeah.
And right now I'm playing for the Regals 16U tournament bound team.
Great,
Yeah.
great. And so as a little kid, did you just want to play hockey, or was it something maybe your parents got you involved in, or what was your desire to get on the ice from such a young age?
Well, at the time, my dad was the head coach of the women's hockey team at Buff State, and so anytime that there was free ice, he'd take me out on these like training skates and get me out on the Buff State ice. And I think having an older sibling who plays hockey and having my dad who coaches and has played hockey and sometimes referees hockey, I think just growing up in that environment really helped me with like growing my passion for the game, because all my life has been just hockey, 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 and I don't think I'll ever get sick of it. I love the sport so much.
So hockey was in your blood.
Yeah.
Almost similar to my situation. I grew up, by the way, with a dad as a coach as well, and familiar. Even though I loved it, I would tell you I probably didn't have a choice either. I was playing hockey whether I liked it or not. Ella, how about you? When did you start, and are you playing travel too beyond just high school?
Yeah, I started a little bit later. I started when I was 11 years old, actually, and I'm currently playing for 19U Bisons.
Great. Awesome. What's it like being a goaltender? You love that position? A lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure, but it's so rewarding, and it helps you with so many aspects of life, like stress management and like holding a team together, because that's what a goalie does.
Yeah.
We are like the backbone of a team almost, and it's the most fun thing you'll ever do in your life.
I will share. I think I've tried goalie a couple times, and my own opinion, I don't think it's for everyone, but I can completely tell that it's for you. And coach was bragging about you, and it's so funny you used the word backbone. I believe Kylie used the same word as a sophomore too, or I'm sorry, Ella, as a junior, leading your team in net. That's pretty great. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming playoffs. Talking about pressure being a goalie, pressure being a number 1 seed. You've got the section championships in past years. How are you guys feeling, and where's the team's mindset?
I think the team is just excitement. Like at all times, there's excitement running through the locker room. Everybody, last year they had a great experience. Everybody loved it, and they want to just do it again. They're just ready to put in the work and the energy that's necessary to win, which helps.
Practices, coach said, have been great. You guys are enjoying the new Brighton Arena as opposed to the old one?
Oh yeah.
It's amazing. It looks gorgeous. Like everything about the rink has improved. It's just overall amazing.
Kylie, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Is there a team that makes you nervous here in the upcoming playoffs?
I'd have to say either Hughes or Flop. I think they're both really hardworking teams.
Yeah.
And I know the Hughes goalie, she's really nice. She's one of my travel teammates. And I know that she has a lot of skill. And I think it will be really fun to go up against them in the playoffs, because I know that it's going to be a very good, like, competitive game. It's not just going to be a washout. Like, it's not going to be just a super high score. But I know that we're going to be able to have the confidence, the energy, and the trust with our teammates and our coaches to be able to pull through and hopefully win the Section 6 championship.
Well, ladies, can't thank you enough for joining us here on a Tuesday night, on a championship Tuesday night. Congratulations. Winning the division is quite the accomplishment. You've had a great season. Western New York Athletics is so excited to be covering your playoffs. and hopefully a state run. Wouldn't that be amazing? And just, congratulations for what you're doing. There are lots of little girls that I know come to your games and are excited to follow in your footsteps and be hockey players, because we know that anyone can do anything, and quite the accomplishment. You're making history over there, and we're certainly proud of you.
Thank you.
So here we have them: Ella Johnston, Kylie Burke from Kenmore-Grand Island-Lockport. What's your? Help me out. I'm still learning. I'm just coming into the broadcasting business. What do you call your team?
Kenji-Port.
Kenji-Port.
Yep.
Man, they're all so creative. I like it too.
Yeah.
You ladies, you guys, you do things right. Us boys could learn a ton. Kenji-Port, looking for a section. I'll say it, they won't, maybe even a state championship. Wouldn't that be exciting? Well, ladies, thank you for joining us. We wish you all the best in the upcoming playoffs. For producer Tim Gardner, my co-host, who left me to visit with this packed facility, I'm Rich Crozier. We'll be back in a few minutes to close out the show. You're watching Western New York Athletics and the Tuesday Night Hockey Show.
Just results.
Your life can change in an instant after an injury. You need a trusted partner at your side. Hi, I'm Dan Chacha. At Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys, we're here to help you navigate the challenges you'll face. Our dedicated team fights tirelessly for your rights, ensuring you get the compensation you deserve. Don't worry, Chacha's got you. Call Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your injury is our priority.
Call 648-3030. Just results.
Explore your next idea. Blaze new trails. Imagine new ways to do things. What will you do next?
Well, Richie, you did a fabulous job doing all the interviews.
Buddy, where you been?
Well, they have
Listen.
8 different styles of wings
This
here
guy.
at Blue Bull Tavern, and each one's better than the next. We did the buffalo garlic parmesan.
Was that the one?
Richie, I think we're going to stay here till 10 o'clock tonight.
Listen, it's a school night for me. Now, last week we had the Lunar New Year off.
That was Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. So Timmy and I, we stayed and caught up on some things. We'll see. We'll see. You know, this principal needs to be at work 7:15 tomorrow.
You're around a lot of kids. You've coached a lot of players, a lot of hockey players over the years. The last 4 players you talked to, who stood out of all the 4 you just interviewed? Can I put you on the
I
spot?
gotta tell you, you can put me on the spot. I was so impressed with Ella and Kylie, those ladies. Just the whole ladies hockey, the movement, just women in sports. It's pretty exceptional, and what they got going on there at Kenmore, lots to be proud of.
Very special. They've always had good goaltending. Matt Miller's been around since day one as an assistant. Finally gets his shot as the head coach 2 years in now. They got as good a shot as anyone to come out of Section 6. And just like the boys, you were saying, whoever comes out of the small schools, D2, has a real legit shot at winning the state. And I'll tell you the same thing for our girls. Whoever comes out of Section 6, whether it's Lita, Kenji-Port, or the Niagara team, whoever, takes one good goalie performance to propel your team into the next round. Anything can happen. Cash. You saw Cash last week.
I thought Cash was great.
They came out as they lost that game.
They won 3-2.
Oh, they did. They did beat Williamsville.
Yeah, it was actually senior night for Williamsville. We got that interview with Sophia DePrima. She got a goal. Grace Elliott played net for Cash. Jenny Wild was the top player for them. She's great. Yeah.
Goal scorer in girls hockey.
Coach Nikki Adamy's great. I think there's just so much excitement about both leagues right now. And how lucky is this community to have Western New York Athletics covering it? My understanding is we'll be there every step of the way.
We will. I know the girls start February 11th at Buff State with the semifinals there. We'll be there doing those ones at Buff State. And then we'll get right into the boys' action, of course, Monsignor Martin. KeyBank Center, I want to say, is February 28th. So we got 3 games at KeyBank Center. That's one thing where the girls, we need to find a way to get the girls included there. You know, to get the girls a game at KeyBank Center. Maybe play that first game and then throw on with the privates, the public schools afterwards. But you know, I think we're doing a disservice to the girls by not allowing them.
Yeah, they definitely should. They definitely should be a part of that game.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a great day. And then Super Sunday, I don't know much about it, but we are doing a club game on Thursday down at Steel Arena there in Fredonia. The Fredonia Dunker team is taking on Jamestown, that Southern Tier group. So Alex Kolsky and the boys will be at Steel Hall this Thursday for the game down in Fredonia. And then, of course, you guys are doing your game Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's 4 hockey games in 3 days. You can see with the WNY Athletics crew.
Yeah, it's like I said, I thought I retired.
No, you just complicated things.
It's great. I'm enjoying, loving every minute, and thank you, Frank, for all you do for this community. You saw the smiles on these teenagers' faces today. No one else is doing it the way we're doing it, and I'm proud of that. It means a lot to them and their families. Coaches that are putting time in, you know, with real jobs, and making the most for our teenagers throughout West New York. So I'm really happy to bring it with you to our friends at home.
And I'll tell you, we don't do enough club. I wish we did more club, but we're sitting with one of the greatest club hockey players in West New York history, Mr. Scott Clark, the Godfather from Kenmore West. Back in the day,
there he
was
is.
Tearing it up at Kenmore West. Aren't you the all-time leading goal scorer in Ken West club hockey history? It's a race between you and Vicar Nazo, I'm sure. But nobody had the guts this guy had. This guy played the whole rink, you know, all 90 feet. Is it 90 feet, the rink?
Yeah.
All right, you played all 90 feet, all corners. Took on all comers. Didn't you beat up Keith Primo in a hockey game one time?
No, I played against
Wayne? Wayne Primo. Him and Wayne Primo got into it one day up in Canada. And he lived to tell about it, so. But anyways.
Well, we're live on Tuesday night at different locations, and we'd love for you to come out and join us.
You got it. Timmy Gardner doing a fabulous job producing. We're going to stay here at the Blue Bull Tavern. If you're out and about, you want to stop up for a frosty treat, and you're of age, come on up and see us.
Yeah.
But next show will be, if it's not here, we might be over at Wingnuts.
Their new location.
Yeah.
By the airport.
We're going to try and hook up with that place and break it in nicely, try their wings, but I'll tell you, the Blue Bull wings they're on par with anyone else's in West New York. They got the popcorn machine, the dartboard. They got 8 TVs in this joint.
Yeah, we're halfway through the Sabres game, 1-1 here.
Everywhere you turn. So you're watching West New York High School Hockey Weekly with Rich Crozier, Timmy Gardner producing. I'm Frank Wolf. Anything else for the weekend?
I just shout out to my guys that have been taking care of me, Joe Kraus, Stu Boyer. You know, I'm in my rookie season, but when you got the veterans like Kraus and Boyer, you're in good shape.
It's like you're on a line, like you're like Mike Bossy on a line with Gillies and who else they got on that Islander team?
I'm just going hard to the net, and they're firing the puck, and I got that loose puck just with that open. I'm just tapping them in.
If only you could get Kraus to bring us a sandwich.
Oh yeah, Timmy's mentioned Joe Kraus. We'll give you the quick story. If you're still with us, thank you, by the way. You must be related to me.
They're watching.
But Kraus brings a sandwich, okay, from home. First of all, in a little, sandwich bag. Always the one Timmy and I, by the third period, we're starving. Been there for a couple hours. Kraus always one dog, one bone. Joe, here's the thing, Tim. Thursday night, watch. He's going to show up with a buffet of sandwiches. It looks like they're peanut butter and jelly. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Kraus, but you are a grown adult.
You have a goal on there.
Yeah, he cuts off the crust. I'm not sure what's going on with him.
Miss Kraus.
Hey, maybe mom's making your sandwiches, Joe. Okay, we're definitely going south. Great show again.
It was a fantastic show.
great,
having all the guests and getting the kids involved.
got an exceptional lineup of hockey coming up this week.
And a huge shout out to Mr. Billy Pavone, who runs the Chili Billies, and of course the Western New York girls. Hockey would not be where it is today without Chili Billy, Mr. Bill Pavone. Shout out to you. Kentiport, did they tell you they won a big game tonight, 6-1?
Oh, did they? They brought the trophy. They brought the trophy. And Coach Matt was awesome. We had a great, even the Canisius guys. I always said there was one, there's always like one Canisius guy out there I might like. I maybe met them tonight, I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure it was Belcito, but it was probably one of the two players.
Belcito's,
yeah.
He's a good guy.
He was energetic. We appreciate his energy. Sam always brings it.
So you want to join us next week? Drop us
Yeah.
a line. We'll see who we're going to invite to the show next week. We'll take a look. Maybe we should bring on, let's see, Lancaster had the big win. We can reach out to those guys.
John Bach be great.
And maybe Ken East. We're overdue. We haven't had Ken East on yet.
Kyle Prey. I'd also love to have Nikki Adamy from Cash. She's great and has a awesome story.
Cash, that's Clarence Amherst, Sweet Home.
Darren Palashevsky from Monsignor Martin. Rick Hopkins, Williamsville. I'll call all these coaches. You guys come join us.
Get them all.
We're growing. We're growing.
You get your WNY Athletics headgear right here. All you got to do is come out and show some support. I gave a guy $20 at St. Joe's on Friday for wearing a Western New York Athletics sweatshirt hoodie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some kid.
Hey, look
wearing
at
a WNY Athletics hoodie.
You're just handing them out like candy.
I had to give him an NIL. I had to give him a few bucks.
I work for the company. I don't have a hoodie. See if we can work that out. Okay.
All right, we'll catch you next week. Don't forget the games. We got them on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for this week with the Crozier and the Kraus.
And if it's Tuesday, we're live with the Western New York Hockey Show tonight. Thanks again to Blue Bull.